Well, hello again, boys and girls and Tesla fans and not so fan kind of guys. We're going to be talking a little bit today about some interesting things that we found on the Octo Valve, people are calling it, but actually it's the cooling system. So anyway, I'd like to have you look at right down here, and right down there you can see what looks like a little teeny slot, and that's made with a wire EDM. It's called a wire. Electric discharge wire. So that machine cuts perfect little diameter holes. It's a little on the slow side, but it's very accurate. So there's one here, there's one up top, and then there's a really interesting one down here at the bottom where we're looking at quite a number of little slots. Now, why would you do that? Well, if you have something that's thermocycling a lot, and this will be, because this is going to get hot and then chilled again and then hot again and chilled. It's going to be expanding and contracting. And aluminum moves a lot more than metal does, like steel does, I should say, or iron. But that expansion could crack free the bolts, or it could crack the casting. So if you add a relief, a strain relief like that, or a relief cut to help you absorb that movement, you're going to wind up with a much better product. People are going to be a little more happy than that, because that thing is done the way it is. So that's kind of interesting. And then the other thing is on top here, a couple of weeks ago, people said, "Oh, what kind of welding do they have?" And I mentioned everything except for one, which I didn't know they had. This is friction stir welding. This is a cool way of putting two parts of aluminum together, some other materials as well, but aluminum is kind of the most suited for it. And in essence, what happens is you have a stylus that spins around very quickly, and it pokes through the two pieces of metal that you want to friction stir weld. Then it goes around the outside edge, and what it does is it uses the plastic state or the thixotropic state of the aluminum to bind it together. So as it's spinning, it doesn't really melt. It turns into more like soft butter that you could see was firm, and then you could cut it with a knife. But when you cut it with a knife, the knife would go right through it. That's at the thixotropic state, and that's kind of like what happens when you go around here. So the rest of the aluminum doesn't really see the heat, a lot of heat. It moves very quickly, and you don't get in any induced stresses. This is something that we've been using on aircraft for quite a long time. Friction stir welding is a cool process. It's a little bit on the slower side, but it works really well. Then we have something here where we're looking at a heat exchanger that's bolted down, but also has banding with what I think, or we think, is being used to isolate the product from the frunk. That this kind of an arrangement is something we really don't see very much of. In fact, I've never seen it. So we're going to be investigating that a little bit more a little later. So the Octovalve right now is being fought over. There's quite a number of people that want to have this project to take to pieces. You can see in the back, up against the white wall there, where Al Steyer, one of our guys, has tried to figure out how the product works and which tube does what, and he's probably going to win as far as the person who's going to take it apart. Let's walk over here and have a look at the HVAC. Now, we don't want to crack into this quickly because we've got people who are going to be taking this apart and looking at it in detail, and nobody, myself included, nobody wants to take something apart that by somebody else did it, and now you don't see what really and truly happened. From an engineering standpoint, we want to dissect this like a surgeon would want to take it to pieces. I want to know exactly where things were when I was dissecting it. So we look at this, and the first thing we find out is that there's 9 bolts that hold this in place. So here's the question. Why did the engineer use 9 bolts? Probably because he couldn't get 11 in. So this is one of the things that we try and talk people into all the time. to try and get rid of these bolts, because underneath here are service parts. So let's look at another part of the Tesla, and you can see here that they used snap fits. These are pretty rigorous. I don't understand why they wouldn't use the same thing for up here. Certainly makes it easier to go together. I don't need tools, and quite frankly, if I'm changing filters and things like that, I want to have it so I can get in and out in a hurry. I don't want to pay more for labor than I do filters. So let's just quickly take this off. By the way, there is some good things here. There's locating features. I like that. But I would have made it probably so that I would flip something and be able to put it out and pull it back in. So let's pull this out. And now what we can do is we can see what's going on inside. Let's put this over here. So right now what we see is two condensers that are sitting in here. We've looked inside a little bit, and we see that they're split. We're not exactly sure how to take that. We don't know if this has got a dual channel or if it's just a single channel, but done a little bit differently. And then what we've got is two air filters. So there's one here, and then we reach inside, and if we get lucky, we can pull the other one out. So here's the second one. So our guess is that the reason that they're using the two filters, and by the way, they're also charcoal. The reason that they're using the two filters, I think, is because these are a standard. We haven't checked that out yet, but we will. And that would make it easier and cheaper for Tesla to buy it. However, the logo is everywhere. So in this particular case, we see that these are definitely made specifically for Tesla. Okay, so we've looked at pretty much everything we can right now. Yes, like I say, we have to put this back for whomever it is that is going to be doing the job. So let's look at something else that we found really interesting. Let's start out right here. Right here you can see there's a connector, and you can see what it looks like when the product's been molded properly. And then we look over here, and this looks very different. And the reason for that is because the designer or somebody has found that there was a mistake, and what they've done is they've gone and these little ridges are telltale. Those little ridges mean that this has been using 3D manufacturing or additive manufacturing, or whatever you want to call it. It's basically a laser and a material, usually in the form of a wire, a plastic wire, and then this has been built up over the top because there was a slight flaw. And while you're waiting for the tool to be modified, you can still build cars. So this is kind of a cool feature we've never seen before. Most of the time, that would be a showstopper, a no build, and you'd have to stop production. But this, it's interesting. I mean, if you have a problem and you want to keep going into production, that's a good way to get around the problem until the molds can be fixed up. Okay, so last today, we have some patrons, and they've been very good to us, and so we're going to be giving away some things to them. Every once in a while, we'll pick something that we think is kind of interesting, and rather than try and sell it, we think that it's a good idea to honor the patrons. So we're going to pull a name out of a hat, and the patron in this case is going to get one of these new style sun visors with the magnet. So we talked about that on a previous show, and I thought it'd be a nice idea. We all thought it would be a good idea if we honored the patrons that are helping us out with this. So we'll pull a name out of a hat probably next week, and some lucky guy is going to, or gal is going to get this. So anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. We've got lots of stuff that's sitting here on the tables and whatnot that It's kind of interesting. We need to tear it down a little bit further. But again, tip those cashiers, and let's show our appreciation. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.